everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Ibrahim Diallo and this is episode 14 of how to build a website from scratch. Today's episode is gonna be relatively short because all I want to do is make a few changes. I want to make sure that we can add articles. We already have editing articles, which is great, but now if we can add new articles, our blog is basically complete. All we will need to do after that is probably remove articles and we're set. We don't need to do anything else. We can have a fully functional blog and just enjoy our day. Also, there's a little thing I did off camera right now. You're gonna have to forgive me for that, but I changed the style of the admin a little bit. It just looked so weird to me when I looked at it, and I decided maybe I should make some updates. Anyway, the changes are very small, and you can see you can download the assets to see what happened. But for now, let's get started. All right, back to my favorite machine, Ubuntu. By the way, this is it's an old machine. It's a Dell. Oh man, I forgot the model. Anyway, I talk a lot about it on my blog. It's a very slow and old machine. If you notice the admin looks a little bit different, that is because, well, I cheated. I made a few changes offline. It's nothing really serious. It's just a few things that I made. I thought like the colors were too strong and it didn't look too pretty. So I just made a few things here, like changed the color of the menu, just styled it a little better, and also changed the color of the header. It was a dark black before and I just lightened it up a little bit. That's it really. Alright, so let's get to adding the add new article section today, and let's see how that goes. The process is simple. It's just like before. All we do is add a new function, add new templates, and that's it. We already have an entry inside the routes file. It points to the add section, and we're gonna do like we did with the edit section. So when you access the page without posting any data, it just displays correctly, and if you make it a post request, it will it will do different things. It will try to add the data back to the database. What I did was for the template, I just copied the one we did in edit and copied it back here and just made a few changes. Instead of showing the data, just giving empty fields. By the way, in the future, I think I'll bring back those fields because it's kind of annoying when you're starting to fill up a form and you press submit and then there's an error and then it makes it all disappear. Now that's gonna be super annoying if you're working on a long article directly on the website. So don't worry, I'll update that. But in this video, I'm just gonna make it save and that's it. Also, I was experimenting with those data type for the input tags, and turns out the one I wanted is not supported yet. At least not widely. I wanted to add the data type date time, and all I could find was date. So you could put the date, and they said the rest you have to do it with JavaScript. That could be a good excuse to start using JavaScript, because I know a lot of people will be surprised that until now I haven't used JavaScript yet. Yeah. Anyway, that's my Stack Overflow profile. I just go around and check. Looks like I have a few more points. I haven't been using Stack Overflow for a long time. And for some reason it keeps getting more points. I guess with their new feature to see how many people you reach, that's kind of interesting. I see that right now it's like around 2 million people it reached. So yeah, you should definitely contribute to Stack Overflow. It's the best thing you can do for your career also. Not only makes you a better programmer, it's just a good thing to give back, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna add those placeholder tags. I don't know if you ever use those. It's supported. I think it's HTML5. All they do is like write some text inside. Before we used to use JavaScript to make those. Like you click on it and then if the text is empty, do this and do that. It used to be too complicated. Now you just use the placeholder. It just makes like a faint text inside that the user can read. There you go, like this. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. Like right now, it's not gonna save anything. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go and add that part of the code. to check, first set the title, and also check the request method to see if it's a post request. I hope you can see the use, like how useful this is, to use like a request object with our framework, and from there we can just do like get method, and it gives us back this thing. While if we were using directly the object, we have to make sure that it's set first, and that yeah, well, we can even create a method called isPost. That's the advantage of this with the request object. We can do whatever we want. I think I will make this process a little simpler, because right now, you see, in order to redirect to a page, first I have to generate the URL, then I use a redirect. It will probably be a good idea if I just did generate URL from route, something like that, and then I give the route directly. Sorry, not redirect to route. There you go. That would make more sense. Anyway, now that I wrote the code to actually save, just to pretend to save, now we're going to be writing the code to save. We're going to create a new function called save article, which I forgot to rename because I copy and pasted the one above. So yeah. Before we used to do an update, now we're going to do an insert. And once we insert, I don't know if you remember, on the previous episode, I removed some code that will give us back the insert ID because we'll need to redirect to that. So basically, I'll have to get back to that to make it, to make it work. But anyway, you'll see right now the problem that it causes, and we'll have to fix that. Okay. Like I said before, this is the most boring part for me, writing those things and validation. And just for the sake of this video, I'm not really doing all the proper things. Because, for example, I would not just check if there's an error. For example, if a particular field is not defined, say that there's an error and also describe the error. Hopefully, on the next from the next videos, I'll start doing that, because I just hate these parts where we have to check if all the values. I just wish everybody would write the right thing all the time, but that's not the case. So you have to make sure you have good error handling, or in case the user doesn't enter things the way they're supposed to. And yeah, well, at least we're not vulnerable to SQL injection for now, so that's a plus already. Yeah, so here's a part that I removed last time, and I need to fix it. Unfortunately, again, I made a mistake. This is not the result object that I need to change, but the connection object. The connection object is the one that's gonna get the insert ID. So right here, I'm trying to do this, and it's failing, and don't know why. Well, at least I didn't know why at the time. But now, because I'm talking after having recorded this video already, I'm wiser. And that's how coding is. You don't know how things are going to be until you do it. You can try to predict as much as you can. You can plan. That's why I like to write the logic before I even implement it. Because sometimes you can find some bugs that, like if you took too much time to implement, it won't make any sense when you try to run it. There will be like too many bugs. But right here, I can see a lot of bugs ahead of time. There you go. Forgot to rename, and I'm testing to make sure that it's going to insert correctly. Looks like the query is correct. Now I'm going to check what is inside that result object. It's just returning true, which means I need to go and modify the MySQL helper function. And there you go. I'm going to use the connection object finally, just to make sure. There you go. It's giving me the ID. Now I need to make the update, remove those. And I made sure that it works for updates, and if it's just an update, it will return true, and if it's what do you call, an insert, is gonna return the ID, which is pretty useful. And of course, since I'm returning the ID, I have to make sure I check first. If there's no ID, throw an error or something like that. I will have to fix that on the next video. But here, I just want it to work. I want to be able to insert articles already. Because come on, we have edit, but we don't have insert. So yeah, I need to fix that. And that is it. That's it. So once you save, it redirects to the edit section and you can edit that article. And of course, there's also something else we need to do on the next video, which is to delete an article. And yeah. But anyway, we haven't really designed our table efficiently. All I did, like if you saw the previous videos when I designed the table, I just wanted to have something that works. I mean, there's no way I can have something like this work on my production because there's more data that I need from an article. This is not enough. So I'm going to have to do that in a future video. Right now, all I care about is that I can write an article and format it the way I want. And once that is done, I can click save and it will save it to the database and I can view it. It will just look amazing at that point. And also, I always like putting images, so there you go. Oh, right. Here, it's going to be formatted, like for now, we're using HTML to format our data, so we have to be careful, make sure that all the tags we open, we close them, all that. We have to make sure our HTML is correct, basically. And that's what I'm doing here, just closing all the tags, making sure everything is correct, probably add that in a block quote, and do the same thing we did for images before. You probably can hear it, but I have a cold right now. So, yeah, cold in the middle of summer. Hate that. And this is also something I'm going to need to change. The way the date is, I'm going to have to find a solution. All right, so let's see the article. Oh, there's... because, you know, once you get to the edit section, you can't really see the article. So I'm going to add a little link over there. So you can just click on it and it takes you to the article. Opens a new tab or window, whatever. And yeah, check the route real quick. Target, blank. I think this is deprecated, but I don't know. Anyway, I still use it. There you go. That's the article we just wrote right now. And it looks good. It works. All right, so now we can add articles. Aren't you excited? All right, I think this video is going to end here. We don't need to do any more than this. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part, this short video that we did today. And I'm going to try to make them shorter so you can follow along easily. And, you know, all the files are always available. You can check my website. I always leave the link in the bottom, right there in the description. You can find all the assets and download them. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to find more videos like these ones, or you can go back and view the whole hierarchy and see how we got to the point where we are today. All right, that's it for me today. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and you'll see me next time. All right, bye.